Okay, hello everyone. I have a super exciting show for you today. At least it is for me. Welcome to the Carbon Flip, um, where we are trying to convert our agriculture ground from a conventional method to a microbial farming method. And so currently I am undergoing classes for learning how to make the agriculture eco-friendly amendments. This is my first compost that I did get completed in December, and we are now waiting for it to mature. And let me, without further ado, show you my screen from my computer camera. It is loaded. I was surprised, being that it is the middle of, or the beginning of February, the middle of winter, how wonderful this biology in this material, I guess you would call it, is. Let me get my screen out of the way. I don't think anybody wants to have to look at my ugly mug, is what I call it. So I'm just going to kind of focus in and out on the sample, but as you can see, the biology here is just loaded right through the upper portion. We'll go ahead and try to focus. I think we're coming out of the sample and up to the surface. And now we'll go back down. And you can see here, so we're coming up to the top now, just all the different microbes, the different sized microbes. And then we have different shaped microbes. We have cocci, we have diplococci, we have bacilli. That's just right there going in and out from what I've seen, what I see moving slowly up and down the water column in this field of view in this slide. I'm very pleased with the microbiology bacterial numbers that we have here. This is probably the best numbers I've seen. Now let's get here where we can see this little flagellate coming up through here. I'm going to try to focus on him. He is staying. Okay, we got him. Try to follow my pointer here. Okay, this is our flagellate, and he's moving up through here. What I'm finding is that there are an awful lot of flagellates in this sample. So they were super happy to come back from dormancy, even with as cold as it is out there. We have a really large, so this here, I'll see, this is a, you gotta say just super in focus, fungal spore right here. We have another cyst, I would say a flagellate cyst, super small, so it's super hard to see whether it's single or double walled. Either way, they're protozoan, and all we really want to focus on is just that we have the numbers of protozoan, and there are different species. I do see a few small strands here, over here, and this might possibly all be fungal strands, fungal hyphae. We just kind of view up and down through that field of view to see whether they have septa or if they're thread-like. These are somewhat small, so they may have been, these were definitely aerobic conditions where I took the sample from, so plus it's just the biology that is so amazing in this. I mean, it's easy to see, it's very concentrated. But just to show you that even during freezing cold, most of this pile is a block of ice. There's another fungal spore there in the center. The amount of bacteria that are here I'm going to try to focus in on whatever that was moving across there, because I'd like to know if, oh shoot, my microscope stopped turning there. I would like to know if ciliates operate at these temperatures. But missed him. Whatever it was, passed me. It's thick. This could definitely be watered down more, diluted, we should say. Then I might be able to find. Okay, see how my microscope kind of tends to not always turn the objectives up and down for some reason. So we'll just search through a little bit more and see what we can find that's active at these temperatures. One thing this should make everybody think about is that there comes a flagellate here. Coming right through the center, but see, it's up and down so much, it's hard to get a focus on him. And that's okay. We seen him. He was there. He was alive and active. How much organic matter even can be broken down and nitrogen can be fixed during these temperatures? I think, oh, I think there was something there on that fragment here. So that gives me a little bit more insight that maybe because it's winter, don't hold off. Go ahead and apply. I think wetter soils might keep the biology alive better because it's not going to desiccate them. Let me slow them down a little, but look at, they're there. They're definitely there and they're definitely active. We've got some cysts. Okay, I want to show you these cysts, but I want to tell you that it's okay even if you apply these cysts. Look, here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe, and flagellate cysts. If we apply them in the wintertime, think it's going to be cold. They're going to remain in the cyst form, but your soil's moist, so they're not going to dry out. If you try to apply these when it's hot and sun, I just feel like you're going to be able to store these in the soil. Here we go. We got something action here. Let's try to focus in on what in the world it is. It's got to be a flagellate in there somewhere. If we can come to the top, not seeing anything, let's go towards the bottom. Something is really there, causing a ruckus. It's underneath of that aggregate, and it's just throwing that aggregate around up top. That's got to be, say, a flagellate just kind of flipping itself around. Can't really get a good focus on it, but we know it's there. We just won't dwell on it. We'll keep looking around. So those are just some of my thoughts that it's also possible that with the cooler temperatures, with your biology a little slower, could this be a hack that, okay, we got a fast mover here. Let's see if we can identify it. Is it up top? No, but there's a couple of them, but there's one over here. They're heading, see my microscope, even though I'm turning the wheel, it's not going. So I might have to contact the company to say, hey, for some reason we're stalling out here. I don't think my computer's freezing. Oh, it's flagellate. We just got him in focus. You see him in focus? Here, look at went underneath this, but he's on his way out. Right there. He's out of focus now. I'm not seeing testate amoebae. Flagellates are very active right now, so interesting. Taking notes. What we see, this is a non-mature pile, but it has been through a complete thermophilic phase. So all these This looks like possible cyst, amoeba cyst, testing amoeba cyst, maybe. Cyst, amoeba cyst. So if we get those out there, even though it's cold, it's okay. We can brew now, and possibly that's our hack for keeping these microbes from getting too excited, multiplying, and removing the oxygen from your brews. Don't know. Something to think about, though. It's a nice aggregate. Look at all just the biology in here, just floating around. It's going to be really interesting once it matures some more, warms up, and all the nematodes and micro and macro arthropods start becoming active again. So we're not seeing a ton of action in here, but I am very surprised that we have as much. Try to get down on that one. No. This microscope is just not wanting to turn. Definitely calling the company on this one. And it seems almost as if the grease on the gear that this thing, shaft that this thing goes up and down on is either too thick. Come on. And it's getting stuck. I'm not sure. It's terrible. Just won't let me turn fast to get anywhere anymore. Oh well. I hate to send it back already, but can't even focus on my sample. The company is really good, though, that they do work with you. Lost them. Mostly seeing cysts, see a lot of bacterial action going on. Great. Well, that's exciting, except for now I'm really just upset that the something moving down there low over here on the side too. See if we can focus on any of these. And my microscope's not wanting to work. I have to call them. See if there's a screw I can tighten. Here they are. They're way up top in this. Those are flagellates. And then they head back down, so you got to just follow them all the way with where they're going. And there's two of them, so they're at the different levels, the depths. So two flagellates going there. And then if you look around, there's probably a lot more, especially with the amount of movement in this sample. I don't see a lot of fungus going crazy in here yet, which is surprising me. But that may take more time for those to grow. Looks like a pollen or an AM fungal spore. Yeah, it looks pretty active to me for me in the middle of winter. This would definitely probably be a good sample to use if you were doing your testing. There's a flagellate. Looks like a possible fungal spore. Fungal hyphae down here on the bottom. Well, the bottom right and the bottom left. So super happy with the sample. I'm glad I had a look at it. And now we can monitor its progress throughout maturation and temperatures. Here's a guy who's really working here at the top. Got another one up there. So there is quite a depth here of this that you have to go through that makes you think that we're blurred for centuries. So there's lots of fungal, cysts, flagellate cyst, and amoeba cysts in this sample. Flagellates are active in February. Isn't that exciting? Something neat right there in the center, that really dark. I'm not sure what that one is, a little bit large, so. I just wanted to see what was active in the middle of winter out on the fields. And I think now you wouldn't be wasting your time at all if you were out there applying your amendments while you can, while there's no crop on there and while the ground's still frozen. These guys are in a frozen chunk. And those flagellates are just rolling around like crazy in here. Don't ask me how. I don't see ciliates, which is probably true because this is not a low oxygen environment at all. We're seeing no low oxygen indicators here. I'm super happy about that. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Just chock full of bacteria in here. All good ones, it looks. Not seeing any bad. Just the numbers. This pile is going to be amazing when it warms up and everything becomes active. I mean, I guess maybe nematodes should be active right now. I don't think. If they were, I would surely see them. So this looks like a fungal hyphae. There's a flagellate running around there. Okay, well, that's probably enough. It's getting a little boring. Seeing the same old bacteria. But listen, look through this sample and see how many different shapes, sizes of the bacteria can you see? Because you're going to want to count those. You're going to want to know how many species in order to be biocomplete. Okay. You've got a rod shape, a bacillus there. We've got these circular cocci. And then we should have like some strips in here of them. So streptococci, things like that. If you see any tetrads or clusters, you know, they're different species, so they count. Do we see any of the, diplobacilla, streptobacilla, things like that? I mean, you counting those. How many bacterial species do we have? And then we get into the amoebas, flagellates, and the micro and macro arthropods. So like, I was going to say there was probably maybe a strepto. Those strepto possible. See those 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of in a strip. There's 3. But the ones you see coming apart, that would be just, here's 2, so it might be diplo. And triplo, diplo, and then singles. I don't see the tetrads anywhere. And then you just look for your bacilluses. And everything looks spectacular. I'm super happy that my sample looks this good. So now we just need time to mature and check it out once it's warming up and everything gets even more active. It's way more active than I thought it would be. Not sure if that's a amoeba cyst there off to the left. I will continue to search through this sample just to get a good idea of what a immature thermophilic pile looks like a month after the heat has dissipated from the pile. And if it's frozen, still very active. So some really good information here that we're gaining. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out my channel. Make sure that you go ahead and hit the permanent button so you can hang around forever. And we'll see how we're doing over the next few months. This is the beginning phases in converting over your conventional farm to a microbial farm. And this is one of the fastest ways to do it. So we're hoping for good results. And that's why we're putting this much effort into it and not just letting it happen on its own and naturally. We're trying to actually control the process, monitor the process, and then we will be able to replicate the process in the future for others who want to convert over but don't necessarily want to put in the effort towards all the education. And then they could just go ahead and pay to have somebody do that for them. Stay tuned for more extremely interesting. So I want to check out this little thing down here in the corner because it looks extremely interesting. Oops. So I may have, going the wrong way. May have lost it because this thing is so touchy. No, it's clear up here at the top already. Of course, I just moved. Not looking a whole lot. It's moving slow, so it's got to be more of a flagellate. I don't know if it's a paramecium. There's another one over there. They're darn near like see-through-ish. I think it's a flagellate and it's actually pulling itself. There's another one right next to it. Whoa, they are getting in a fight, I think. One is definitely mad at the other one. Oh no, we've got a third one coming in here on the right-hand side. I don't know what's going to happen, but they seem to be quarreling. I'm not sure those are, but I'm pretty sure they're flagellate. I don't think paramecium from what I'm seeing. I believe I can see a hand out front that's pulling it along. So we've got lots of flagellate activity here in the pile in February. I am super excited about that. Stay tuned. When it warms up, we'll see millions of amoeba, I hope. And then we'll gain fungal dominance and see nematodes. Remember to come back. Super fun, and hopefully we will have blue skies and warm weather coming our way very soon. I'm starting to get excited about this microbial farming, and I hope you are too.